Let's be honest. When a woman starts losing interest, it can feel like your world is crumbling. The natural reaction is to try to fix things, win her back, and show her how much you care. But here's the kicker. Those very instincts can actually drive her further away. Most men end up making 5 crucial mistakes that almost guarantee she'll lose even more interest. Why? Because these actions often stem from a place of insecurity, and women have an uncanny ability to sense desperation even when it's well hidden. Society teaches us that when someone pulls away, we should double down, be more available, and prove our worth. But in relationships, this often has the opposite effect. When a woman feels like she's in control and you're chasing her, her interest can nosedive. The more you push, the less respect she feels. It's an unfair game, but it's very real. The more you try to pull her closer when she's pulling away, the faster she'll retreat. So, understanding what not to do is crucial if you want any chance of reigniting her interest. Think of it this way. If a woman is losing interest, you're at a pivotal moment. Your actions can either solidify her decision to move on or spark a sense of mystery and self-respect that might make her reconsider. Don't fall into the trap of incessant texting, begging, or showering her with unearned validation. Your worth isn't tied to her attention. Confidence and restraint are much more compelling than grand gestures or apologies. In this video, I'm going to reveal the 7 major mistakes you must avoid when a woman starts to lose interest. These pitfalls are easy to stumble into, but can drive her away if you're not careful. Think of this as your guide to maintaining your self-respect and showing her a side of you she might have taken for granted. By steering clear of these errors, you might just find she begins to see you in a new light. So, if you're ready to stand your ground and demonstrate that you're not just any guy who can be strung along, let's dive in. 1. Don't chase her. Let her come to you. When a woman starts to lose interest, the instinctive reaction is to chase harder, shower her with affection, and remind her of what she's missing. But here's the hard truth. Chasing often has the opposite effect. When you pursue someone who's pulling away, it only reinforces their disinterest. People value what they have to work for, and if you're always there, giving her attention, there's no reason for her to invest in you. Imagine a man who senses his girlfriend becoming distant. He starts texting her constantly, planning surprise visits, and showering her with compliments. From his perspective, he's doing everything right, showing her he cares. But from her perspective, it feels overwhelming and suffocating. She starts feeling trapped, with no space to breathe or miss him. His actions come across as desperate, pushing her further away. Instead of chasing, do the opposite. Pull back and give her the space she's seeking. Show that you're secure enough to let things unfold naturally. This approach lets her see you as someone who respects her boundaries and has his own life. It subtly conveys that your world doesn't revolve around her, which can be incredibly attractive. If she's truly interested, she'll notice your absence and start wondering about you. This isn't about playing games. It's about maintaining self-respect and not pouring all your energy into a one-sided relationship. By not chasing, you maintain your dignity and let her see the strength in your independence. 2. Avoid over-explaining. When a woman starts losing interest, many men feel an urge to explain themselves, justify their actions, or clarify their intentions. They believe that if she just understood them better, she might rekindle her interest. But over-explaining usually makes things worse. It comes across as insecure, as if you're seeking validation or approval. It can make you seem desperate, trying to talk her into seeing things your way, which is not attractive. Over-explaining shifts the dynamic of the relationship. Instead of being a man who stands confidently by his decisions and actions, you become someone who seeks her permission to be himself. This behavior can be exhausting for her. Remember, a woman isn't losing interest because she doesn't understand you. Most of the time, it's because her feelings have changed. Trying to intellectualize an emotional shift won't solve anything. Think about it. The more you try to prove yourself, the weaker your position becomes. Imagine a guy who senses his girlfriend becoming distant. He starts saying things like, "I know I've been busy, but I really care about you." Or, "I'm just trying to do what's best for us." While he's trying to show he cares, he's essentially apologizing for who he is. Instead, letting your actions speak for themselves conveys strength and confidence. When you avoid over-explaining, you send a clear message that you're okay with who you are, regardless of her current interest level. This doesn't mean being cold or unfeeling. It means being secure enough to let things play out without constantly narrating your every move. By standing by your choices and not feeling the need to justify them, you exude a quiet confidence that's far more appealing than any lengthy explanation. 3. Don't over-validate. One common mistake men make when they sense a woman pulling away is to over-validate her with constant compliments and reassurance. They hope this will make her feel more connected, but it often backfires. Over-validating can come across as insincere or desperate, creating an unbalanced dynamic where she becomes the prize and you're merely seeking her approval. This imbalance can lead to her feeling less attracted over time. Validation is important in any healthy relationship, but there's a difference between genuine appreciation and over-validation. If you're always telling her she's amazing, beautiful, and the one, you take away some of the mystery and allure that keep the relationship exciting. Over-validation can also make you seem less self-assured, as if you need her approval to feel good about yourself. Women are naturally drawn to men who are grounded and don't need constant feedback or reassurance. Instead of over-validating, let your appreciation be genuine and well-timed. This way, it has more impact and feels more meaningful. When you're confident and secure in who you are, you don't need to constantly reassure her. Your actions and presence will convey your feelings. A healthy relationship thrives on a balance where both partners feel valued and appreciated, but not overly praised. 4. Stop being readily available. When trying to win back a woman's interest, becoming overly available might seem like the right move. You want to show her you're there for her, ready to respond immediately to every message or call. However, this behavior can signal that you're too eager, even desperate. Being constantly available tells her you have nothing else going on, no personal goals or ambitions taking up your time. This lack of self-focus can be unattractive and make her feel less intrigued. If you're always free and overly responsive, it's time to reassess your priorities. Aim to grow, build, and focus on what makes you a better man mentally, physically, and emotionally. When you're constantly available, you're essentially putting your own life on hold, waiting for her to lead the way. This lack of independence can reduce your appeal and make her feel trapped or burdened by your attention. Women are drawn to men who are focused, driven, and have their own lives. When you're too accessible, there's no mystery or room for her to miss you. Relationships thrive on a healthy level of curiosity and independence. By being readily available, you remove that sense of anticipation and make it easy for her to take you for granted. Instead of being always available, create a balance. Show her that while you care, you also have a full, rich life that isn't defined by any one person. This shift in behavior boosts your self-worth and keeps the relationship fresh and engaging. If you're there every second, waiting on her response, there's no space for her to develop her own desire for you. By creating a bit of distance, you allow her to appreciate the time she has with you more fully, building a stronger connection based on mutual respect and individuality. 5. Never beg or plead. One of the quickest ways to lose respect, attraction, and ultimately a woman's interest is by begging or pleading. When you're in a desperate mindset, emotions run high and it feels natural to pour your heart out, hoping she'll understand how much she means to you. But begging or pleading only reinforces her decision to lose interest. It tells her you're willing to sacrifice your dignity, self-worth, and strength, all qualities that initially attracted her. Begging puts her on a pedestal and makes her the one in control, giving her the power to either give or withhold attention and affection. This imbalance can be exhausting for her and demoralizing for you. You become overly dependent on her, and she starts to see you as someone who lacks self-respect. No one truly wants to be with someone who doesn't value themselves. Confidence and self-respect are far more attractive than desperation. Instead of pleading with her to change her mind, focus on your personal worth. Remind yourself that the kind of connection you're seeking can only come from mutual respect and genuine desire. When you retain your dignity, you show her that while you may care deeply, you're also capable of standing on your own 2 feet. This approach is empowering for both you and her, giving her space to reflect on her feelings without feeling overwhelmed or pressured. By standing strong, you set a boundary that communicates, "I'm willing to work through issues, but I'm not going to compromise my self-respect." This stance can often reignite her interest, as she sees you as someone who's not just there to please her, but someone who values himself enough to demand respect. It's a fine line between showing you care and losing yourself in the process. Mastering this balance is key to maintaining attraction and respect in any relationship. 6. Don't be passive-aggressive. When a woman starts losing interest, some men resort to passive-aggressive behaviors in an attempt to regain control or express their hurt feelings. This can include sarcastic comments, silent treatments, or subtle digs meant to make her feel guilty. While it might seem like a way to get her attention or make her realize what she's losing, passive-aggressive behavior only creates more distance and resentment. Passive aggressiveness erodes the foundation of trust and respect in a relationship. It's a manipulative tactic that ultimately backfires, as it makes her feel misunderstood and disrespected. Instead of seeing you as a mature, confident partner, she starts viewing you as emotionally immature and unable to communicate effectively. Consider a scenario where a man feels his partner is drifting away. Instead of addressing his feelings openly, he starts making snide remarks about her being too busy or not caring enough. He might withdraw affection or act coldly without explaining why. These actions create confusion and tension, making it even harder for her to reconnect emotionally. The key to avoiding passive aggressiveness is open, honest communication. If you feel hurt or insecure, express these feelings directly and calmly. This shows emotional intelligence and strength, making it easier for her to understand and respond positively. By addressing issues head-on, you build a more solid and respectful foundation for your relationship. 7. Avoid playing mind games. When faced with a woman's waning interest, some men resort to playing mind games to try to win her back. They might employ tactics like making her jealous, giving mixed signals, or pretending not to care. While these strategies might seem like a way to regain the upper hand, they often lead to confusion, mistrust, and further emotional distance. Mind games undermine the authenticity and sincerity necessary for a healthy relationship. When you manipulate her emotions, you're not fostering genuine connection or respect. Instead, you're creating a false sense of interest based on uncertainty and doubt. This approach might temporarily catch her attention, but it's not sustainable for building a long-lasting, meaningful relationship. Imagine a man who tries to make his girlfriend jealous by flirting with other women or pretending to be busy with other plans. Initially, she might feel a spark of jealousy or curiosity, but over time, she'll likely see through the facade and feel manipulated. This realization can lead to a loss of trust and a deeper disconnection. Instead of playing games, focus on being authentic and straightforward. Show her your genuine self and communicate your feelings honestly. Authenticity is far more attractive than any game you could play. It demonstrates confidence, maturity, and respect for both her and yourself. Navigating a relationship when a woman starts losing interest can be challenging, but it's crucial to maintain your self-respect and avoid these common mistakes. Remember, the key is to balance showing you care with retaining your dignity and confidence. By not chasing, avoiding, over-explaining, and steering clear of passive-aggressive behaviors and mind games, you demonstrate strength and maturity. Ultimately, the best way to rekindle her interest is by being the best version of yourself, confident, self-assured, and respectful. If she sees that you value yourself and aren't desperate for her attention, she may start to view you in a new light. And if not, you'll still walk away with your dignity intact, ready to find someone who appreciates you for who you are. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more insights on relationships and personal growth. Until next time, stay strong and confident.